your
Yes.
reaction in the news? Matt Nagy announced as offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Big news, of course. Of course, I think some fans are a little like, but we were never going to reach the high that we had when Harbaugh got hired. So it didn't matter who we hired as an OC. We were never going to get to that point again. And already, some fans are like, what is Harbaugh doing? He's been on the job for a week and we're already questioning him, even though he was the guy that we wanted all along.
Well, listen, we're both fans of the Giants. I do some work for them. At least I did last year. I don't know if they'll rehire me or not, but we'll see.
That's damn right they.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm not worried about it.
The Giants.
But Matt Nagy won the experience, so that's good. So his what's the word for it? His space should cover more than young quarterback or young coordinators because of all the years he's been a coordinator, head coach under Andy Reid, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And, here's what just one thing that bothered me when I would watch Kansas City. If they were doing well, it was Andy Reid. Oh, he's calling the right plays today. Not that
it's always been that way, though.
Yeah, I know. But I think the experience, and like I said, say about head coaches and everything, when you relocate and got a different team, you can correct all your errors from the previous team.
Right.
And I think that's always important. And Matt Nagy, I'm sure he's read some of the stuff up here that people are a little concerned. And you know what? That just makes him more determined. The one thing I do notice about him is his attention, his work habits. And, you could see with Andy Reid, you could see that it means so much to him. And now he's got Jaxson Dart. He's got a chance to kind of, they didn't really create run plays for the Kansas City offense. They didn't do that.
That was my concern, really, like when they announced it, and ultimately, of course, we're from that world, right, where we are quarterbacks that realize the importance of a running game, right? And I think a lot of great quarterbacks out there realize the importance of balance on offense and being able to impose your will on the opposing team. And that's where, for me,
about the quarterback runs, like he didn't have.
Oh, I know, but I know that Jaxson Dart can run. I know that.
No, I'm not talking about him, but Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, they weren't designing run plays. Maybe one every 5 weeks. I don't know, but I don't think about their team and go, yeah, you got to watch for the quarterback runs. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's just more so just like you never really had to worry about any Kansas City run game, I feel like, for over the past few years. So that's a little concern for me. That's something where, of course, I want to continue to see the Jaxson Dart designed runs, right? And for him to keep himself, safe in those environments, right? But yeah, I just, that's one thing where if I'm going to nitpick, that would be it. Just the inability to dominate the game sometimes when it was presented of saying we're going to have a great running game. And Kansas City really hasn't had that in the past 2 years.
I'm not saying this at all. I'm just telling the truth. It's not because the Giants hired Matt Nagy. Right. It's the passing, and Andy Reid, really, if it was up to him, he'd throw the ball every down.
Right.
He's not sitting there going, we're going to run. Hey, he just wants to run to hope to keep you honest, and every once in a while get in a 2nd and 5, instead of did we complete it or whatever. Yeah. But I really believe that. I've always felt that. In fact, I think over the years he has said things almost like that. Right. He doesn't want to run the ball because he's afraid it won't get any yards, and he just says, let's throw it. Hell, I can throw incompletions and get no yards. So yeah. In my opinion, I'm going to wipe all that, not going to think about those things, and I'm going to watch him and see how he changes whatever. Maybe he won't, but if he changes and how he has this offense and does it, it's going to be different than the Kansas City offense. I feel very safe in saying that. Remember, hell, he was down in Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky driving down the field, scores. They're going to win. The other team scores. Mitchell Trubisky, not much time, drives down the field again. Field goal, oh, shoot, hit the upright and the crossbar, did both. And so he's had great success when he's on his own, and we'll see. But I'm the opposite. I'm thinking positive, and, of course, there's many reasons for that. Yeah. And I tell you, the one thing I notice about Matt Nagy, I think there is a toughness to him.
Right.
Just in his body language and everything. So this is going to be really interesting. And, of course, John Harbaugh is going to help along with that too. So
right.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. It didn't change me at all. I still feel very confident in what the Giants have done, who they've hired, and the team that I think they're really going to beat. So
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for next year to start right now. I want some time off.
Well, he's experienced. He's good at what he does. He's got
Yeah.
a lot of years under his belt. That's great. All that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And he's got an opportunity now to reinvent his own unique offense away from the guys of Andy Reid. And that's what we know.
You're
So
right. If
that's really it.
he comes in here, Matt, and that offense rips it up, which is very possible. If he does, he's going to probably get a head coaching job again.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.